Which of these examples would you want to watch more of?
Shapeshifters don't exist, Carl. Oh yes, they do. I met one outside of a Walmart last year. Nice fella. He's talking about macroeconomics and foreign policy. I go back the next day. He's talking about the exact same things, but this time he's a raccoon. You can't trust him.
Odds are you chose example B. And here's why. You see, when I first started making videos, all I could focus on was how they looked. I learned about composition and framing, lighting, color grading, all of those things, but something was off.
Do you still need revenge even after her death? The sentence now!
Yes, I must die. That is why I came here.
It was my audio. Just like in the example, audio actually plays a larger role in your video than you may think. But when you're first starting out, it's hard to know where to start. So today, I'm gonna break it down and give you the basics to audio for filmmaking. By the end of the video, you'll know exactly how to capture clean, professional sound for your videos. So why is your camera's audio trash? Before we get into microphones and recording techniques, let's talk about why most beginner filmmakers struggle with audio. The lowest level of audio is relying on your camera's built-in microphone. These mics are small, cheap, and are usually omnidirectional, meaning they pick up sounds from all directions. The sound you get straight out of camera is low quality and really only used as scratch audio, which acts as a reference point for helping sync up external sound files when editing later on. I've also used it for atmosphere or background ambiance noise for a project, so there are ways to utilize it, but it's really kind of bottom of the barrel audio in terms of quality and usefulness. The next level of better audio has to do with this port on your camera. It's your microphone port. And you can plug in generally one of two types of microphones. The first is some sort of an on-camera shotgun mic or a wireless lavalier system. On-camera microphones are a simple way to increase the quality of sound. Additionally, an important feature of all mics are what their polar pattern is. This mic is a small directional microphone designed to pick up audio directly in front of it. Anything from the side or behind it won't really be picked up nearly as well as what's in front of it, which is a good thing. But even then, if your subject is too far from the microphone, your audio won't be as clear or rich. Another option is a wireless lav system. These usually come in two parts, the transmitter and receiver. The transmitter is the mic, and you can either hold this or attach it to your subject. Most of the time, these mics are built with an omnidirectional polar pattern, meaning they pick up sound from all around. To ensure you get clear and rich audio, still have the mic pointed at the source and try getting it close. If it's windy outside, consider using some form of a wind block. This will keep your audio from sounding distorted. You should also avoid brushing or hitting the mic. The receiver part stays on your camera and sends the audio signal into the mic port here. You can adjust how loud that signal will be recorded in your camera, but here's an important part of audio I didn't understand for a long time. It's called preamps. A preamp or preamplifier is what boosts a weak audio signal to a usable level before it gets recorded. Think of it like a microphone whispering and a preamp acting as a megaphone, making that whisper loud and clear. But not all preamps are created equal. Some introduce noise or distortion. That's why tutorials and other videos will have you adjust the audio levels in the audio receiver first before it's sent into your camera. Most cameras aren't built with incredible preamps, so always raise the signal with a dedicated audio device first before raising it with your camera's built-in preamps. But it doesn't end there. There's an even better way to get rich and clear audio. It's by using a dedicated audio recording device, commonly known as a field recorder. For me, everything changed when I discovered what a field recorder was. I bought the Zoom H1, and I'll never forget the first time I recorded with it. I was in my basement, holding a little mic close to my mouth, just testing it out, and when I played it back, I was blown away. The sound was clear and rich, and I almost felt like listening to a podcast. It was a night and day comparison to the weak, distant audio I was getting from the camera's built-in microphone and what I was getting out of my field recorder. You see, a field recorder is a device specifically designed for high-quality audio recording. Unlike a camera's built-in audio system, a field recorder has better preamps, more control over audio levels, and higher quality recording formats like 24 and 32-bit. 24-bit audio is the industry standard for high quality recording. It gives you a wide dynamic range and allows for detailed sound capture. However, if your levels are set too high, your audio can still clip and sound distorted. Thankfully, there's another option, 32-bit float audio. While 32-bit float recording allows for huge dynamic range, it doesn't truly make audio immune to clipping. It just allows for significantly better recovery. And thankfully, 32-bit float is being integrated into newer recorders. So odds are you can find one that has that ability. If you're just starting out, getting a field recorder with 24-bit is great. It's better than what's built into your camera, and that's what we're going for. Another important thing is that field recorders introduce another type of input compared to just the 3.5mm jack on your camera. These have an XLR input. If I take this shotgun microphone, which is an extremely directional mic by design, I can mount it on a boom pole and get rich and clear audio from my subject. Running a boom pole audio system is arguably the best option, mainly due to their natural sound and better rejection of unwanted noise compared to other mics like lavaliers. And here's a bonus tip. Sometimes you can take the 3.5mm audio feed from a field recorder and send it directly into your camera. While this may seem like the holy grail of solutions for not having to sync your audio in post, remember that this audio signal is still passing through your camera's preamps, which means that some detail could be lost. It's best to keep the audio recording for your field recorder, but know that it's still possible to do this. And you can always experiment to see if the convenience is worth the drop in audio quality, if you can even discern that difference. But how do you record the best audio for your videos? Let me show you a variety of scenarios and how I would record audio in each. In this example, I have a wide shot of my subject. Because it's a wide shot and my subject may be far away from the camera, I probably won't be able to use a boom pole. It'll get in the shot. If they were standing still, I could technically use a boom pole, use a plate shot, and mask it out in post, but for this example, we'll just use a wireless lav set. We'll mic them up, hide the mic if we want, and press record. And there we go. In this example, we have a close-up dialogue scene. Thankfully, I have a friend that's here to help record sound while I operate the camera. I'll give them some pointers on how to hold the boom pole, where to point the mic, and tips on how not to dip it into frame. Then I'll ensure we're both recording before we have our talent perform their scene. And there we go. In this last example, I may just be sort of running and gunning recording, capturing more of the environment, event, or trip. I don't need any specific audio from a subject, so having onboard sound will be fine. Having this over the built-in mic will be a safer option if I want ambient or atmosphere audio. And here's a bonus tip. You can always use your phone's audio recording app as a sort of field recorder to get close-up audio. Or you can interview someone after you're done filming and use it as a sort of narration. But if there's only one thing you take from this video, it's this. People will forgive bad visuals if there's good audio, but will have a hard time forgiving bad audio if there's good visuals. The solution? Investing in a good audio package. It doesn't even have to be expensive. Consider buying a second-hand field recorder. And because these recorders tend to eat through batteries pretty fast, especially if your microphone is powered through the field recorder, which is called phantom power, you could buy a small rechargeable battery pack to power it from. This one is pretty much glued to my field recorder and can power the recorder and shotgun mic for days worth of recording. I don't have to worry about anything dying on me when it's all powered from one of these. And then just keep the mic as close to your subject as possible. And you can find a cheap shotgun microphone that's secondhand as well. When I first started out, I didn't have a boom pole for a while, so I used one of these old light stands. Get creative. You'll get the hang of it the more you get out there and practice. Trial and error is one of the best ways to learn what sounds best. And if you're trying to learn what looks best, check out my video on what you need to know in order to better master your camera's exposure. If you got value out of this video or want to see more filmmaking tips like this, stick around and I'll help you learn more in the weeks to follow.